The notion that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a narrative that has been perpetuated by certain groups and individuals. This idea is often rooted in misinformation, misconceptions, and a lack of understanding of the scientific consensus surrounding these topics. Vaccines, for instance, have been extensively researched and proven to be a crucial tool in preventing the spread of infectious diseases. The development of vaccines has saved countless lives and has been instrumental in eradicating diseases such as smallpox and polio. However, some individuals claim that vaccines are part of a larger conspiracy to control populations, particularly Christians. They argue that vaccines contain harmful ingredients, are ineffective, or are even a form of population control. Despite these claims, the overwhelming scientific evidence supports the safety and efficacy of vaccines. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), the World Health Organization (WHO), and other reputable health organizations have thoroughly debunked these misconceptions. They have concluded that vaccines are not only safe but also essential for maintaining public health. Similarly, the concept of global warming has been distorted by some to be a hoax or a conspiracy to undermine Christian values. They argue that climate change is a natural phenomenon, that the science is not settled, or that it is a plot to impose a new world order. However, the scientific consensus on global warming is clear. Human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases, are significantly contributing to the rise in global temperatures. The evidence for global warming is backed by decades of research, including temperature records, melting of polar ice caps, and shifts in weather patterns. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) has concluded that it is extremely likely that human activities are the dominant cause of the observed warming since the mid-20th century. Furthermore, the consequences of inaction on climate change, such as more frequent natural disasters, sea level rise, and water scarcity, will have devastating impacts on communities worldwide, including Christian populations. The idea that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is not only misguided, but also divisive. It creates a false narrative that pits Christians against the scientific community, undermining trust in institutions and expertise. This rhetoric can have serious consequences, such as decreasing vaccination rates and hindering efforts to address climate change. Moreover, this narrative ignores the fact that many Christians and Christian organizations are actively working to address these issues. For example, the Christian medical and dental associations have expressed support for vaccination, and many Christian denominations have issued statements acknowledging the reality of climate change and the need for action. In conclusion, the notion that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a misconception that lacks evidence and ignores the scientific consensus. It is essential to rely on credible sources of information to approach these topics with a critical and nuanced perspective, and to recognize the importance of addressing these issues for the well-being of all communities, including Christian populations. By doing so, we can work towards a more informed and compassionate dialogue, one that prioritizes the health, safety, and dignity of all individuals regardless of their faith or background. Ultimately, it is crucial to recognize that vaccines and global warming are not issues of faith, but rather issues of science and public health. By acknowledging the evidence and working together to address these challenges, we can create a more just and sustainable world for all, one that reflects the values of compassion, justice, and stewardship that are central to the Christian faith. It is time to move beyond the rhetoric of misinformation and to engage in a constructive conversation about the role of science, faith, and values in addressing the complex challenges of our time. By doing so, we can build bridges of understanding, foster greater empathy and cooperation, and work towards a brighter future for all.